Hello everybody, welcome to episode 6 of the Digimon IC 10X series. So, as you remember from the last episode, we kind of were just doing random stuff, waiting to evolve. In today's episode, we have gained the power of evolution! Well, there we go, clean out the poop. But look at that, evolution has happened. We are now, was it like Liliamon or whatever? It's something like that. I think it's like Liliamon. It's supposed to be like a type of like plant evolution. It's supposed to be like a reference to like Lilymon from like the original Digimon adventure. So it's kind of that whole like sort of design philosophy. But I've already done all the basic stats and everything to get to this point. I will say one thing though is the guides that I was looking at never mentioned the whole like having to do battles at the final stage. You need to do battles at the final stage. I know people are like, you're using guides? And I was like, yes, I am using guides, because guess what? The typing thing of the soul charges is annoying. So, for example, for this whole evolution tree cycle or whatever, when I was having to do it, I had to use insect/bug, or insect/plant, or whatever the heck they call it, and I had to use machine. Those two somehow equal a plant Digimon. I don't know how machine equals that, but that's some fun little tip for y'all. This device has some crazy stuff in it. So, yeah, I recommend looking into the guides for the IC, because you either can do that, or you can play the random slot machine of trying to guess an evolution, which is possible on this device. You are allowed to just get a random evolution. I didn't want to do that. I wanted just to go for straightforward evolution, so I did that. So, sorry, y'all. Besides that, I didn't use the guide for anything else, really. I only used the guide for, like, telling me what evolution types need whatever soul charges. That's literally all I looked up. Like, someone had to tell me what the cake was for when I asked them, and that's pretty much been it. I only looked up what type of soul charges work for which Digimon. And that's all I learned from it, so woohoo, fun for me. Because it means I have a bunch of soul charges that I just don't use. So, random stuff like that. And for those of you who noticed the devils being short, that's because I accidentally spam clicked it and messed up like once or twice. I think it was twice I messed up. Don't spam click on this device, by the way. We do have the next evolution set. We are planned for the next evolution. So get you ready for the next evolution. And I've already done the one battle today. I decided to go into the secondary one. There's a close-up of Liliamon right there, which looks amazing, by the way. This is like one of my favorites. I prefer this evolution way more than Lilymon, just because I think this is much more fitting of like Rosemon or whatever, because it's just the whole like flower aesthetic is just a bit better on this one, I say, compared to Lilymon. Also, I kind of like the body design a lot more compared to Lilymon. One of those type things where it's like, there's just little bits and pieces I prefer. I also like how Sunflowermon is like sort of takes place in this evolution as well, so I don't know, it's just a few things I like more than something like Adventures like Togemon to Lilymon evolution. Which I get that evolution too, they both make sense. They're very thought out evolution, so I don't blame them. I did get through the, second championship thing here, though. So I did get through the second one. That was a fun bunch of battling. It wasn't that hard. It basically just goes from rookie to champion. So nothing too crazy there. We did get a bunch of points, though, from it. We got 1,000 points at the end, so we have a lot of spending money. And you know what that means? Let's go into the shops! We're going to go into the dump shop, because I want something out of here. Let's see. Do we have anything fancy in here, really? Not really. Okay. What's in all these shops, by the way? I kind of forget what's all in these things. That's the whatever shop. So here's our weapon shop here, which just allows us to do weapon type things. I don't know what these weapons do. They're just all kind of random assortment of things. So I don't know what all these do, by the way. I need to probably see if anyone has an explanation, because these are all just kind of random things. I don't know what the price of all of them is either. Like, they're all kind of cheap, so it's kind of whatever. I presume, like, one of these is the axe for, I don't know. I don't know how this whole thing works out properly. We also have this weird shop that also gives me, like, ticket items and stuff like that. and weird items. I do know one thing is that this item right here makes you go back in evolution. So it's like how the Pendulum X had this item. It basically just de-evolves you. So it's kind of a cool thing to mess around with. We do got a bunch of tickets here. Don't have money for the ticket yet, by the looks of it. What about the other ticket? Okay, yeah. So I guess we need to save up money for the later stage championships. So I guess we'll probably be replaying through whatever and getting those done. But it shouldn't be too bad. By the looks of it, ooh, that one's really expensive. Jeez. So by the looks of this, I'm not getting any of these items here just yet in that last shop. But for right now, let's go inside this one and pick out something fun to wear. So we got this weird little hat here, and I figured let's get this hat. I'm kind of curious of how the hats work in this thing. So, yeah, you can just put on a hat. Yeah, there we go. Let's see how this looks. This is amazing. It put a little bow on it. That's hilarious. Oh, that's amazing. Now it has a big old afro. That's amazing. I was not expecting the bow to be placed on that. Oh, that is hilarious. Don't know if I like that as a design, because that might bother me over time. But, man, that is hilarious. Does it change any, like, the up-close animations? Let's see. Does it? Nope, doesn't. Okay, sad. I was hoping the afro would be in the animation. But that is hilarious. I was not expecting the afro to just be in there. I'm guessing I just take it off just doing this. Oh, no, that doesn't work the way I was hoping it would. Does I just hit yes again? Does the afro just stay on? That's not good. How do I take the afro off? Okay, I see that it changed the notifications. Okay, yeah. So you just have to hit yes 2 times. So by the looks of it, there is a confirm screen. So you just have to hit yes again, and it changes it. I didn't notice. I just noticed the text was changing at the top there. So that is a very interesting little function of that device. I would explain more about what's all going on with this right now, but to be honest, I've already done the battles and stuff. Pretty much just went through the one championship, and my evolution was already unlocked. So I don't know if there's just a certain amount of battles you have to do or whatever. I pretty much just did a bunch of the stuff. I went and did the whole soul charges here, which is pretty easy. These things are a bit of a pain sometimes to get a hold of, though. And as you see, that was Dragon 1, and I already have too many Dragon 1s, so we can't get any more. There's a maximum cap. So, fun for me. Though, in the next evolution cycle, we'll probably be getting a bunch of the stuff pretty quickly for evolutions, because I don't have to sit down and worry about any of it. So, that'll be pretty fun to mess with. I think in the next one, I'll probably go for Galmon, just because we do have the evolution chip right here. So, we'll probably be just spamming this thing a bunch of times and just going through it. So, be ready for all that fun. So, get ready for all that. And someone was asking me about a chip thing the other day. I was going to actually sit down and finally explain that. So, someone did message me about some other Digimon chips here. Someone asked me if the Excel chips were compatible. They are not compatible. So, if you look at the 2 chip designs, if you see here that this one has a bit more of a different pattern and only accepts the IC, this one right here has its own pattern and only accepts the Excel. Because if you look at the wonderful world of the Excel, which I don't know which cubby I put it into. Having to explore my cubby's system. Which cubby did I put it into? We'll find out. Okay, here it is. Whee! Grabbing out stuff because it's all at weird little locations. So here's the Excel. This is, I'd like to call the sort of predecessor to the Excel, to the IC. They had the whole little soul charge mechanic up there. If you look at the soul charges, they have different designs on them. This one is a 5-peg design. This one is not 5 pegs. This is 6 pegs. So, of course, they both had their own little fancy designs. I see this one has its own little input there. So these things are not cross-compatible in that sort of sense, which is kind of sad. But that feels like that was just a way for Bandai to make more money at the time, because they sold these things in like little grab packs. So it's not that shocking. Though to be honest, the IC doesn't really need them compared to the Excel. Oh well. The Excel doesn't need them technically, but like they're just nice to have on the Excel because of how the Excel kind of works. So it's just one of those little weird moments of like, it's whatever, I say. Trying to put my Excel back in there nice and neat. I'm like, ugh. It's a very big device. Okay, I'm going to just put this to the side because I think I'm going to find a better spot for that in just a minute than how I just had it in there. Close that up. Move things back around because, geez, I have too many things out. But it is crazy to look at the IC compared to the Excel because both of these have a lot of similar features. So it's crazy to think about how much they slimmed down the Excel, or the accelerator to the IC. Like this thing is like way smaller. It has a lot more technology in it too with the IR reader in the back. So it is kind of crazy. But this one does have the trigger mechanism. Now I'm not going to get too far in depth with the accelerator because we still have not run this device yet on this channel. So at some point we will be sitting down and running this wonderful little digital device and getting on with it and talking about it and all the fun with it. Though when I do my series, it's not going to have this cover on it. I'm going to put a different cover on. So woo, fun there. Moving things around because I have stuff in my way. And just moving things back because I'm putting my arms in weird locations. But we are just kind of fully set with that. And I just wanted to make that update because someone did ask me about that the other day. And no, they are not cross-compatible. So sorry for having you wait, Dave, whoever asked me. I kind of forgot who asked me the question. But, yeah. They're not cross-compatible. Though we will see those chips in the Excel series because I have like a crap ton of those things. Because if you all remember that one episode from me unboxing stuff I got from Bai, that whole Excel set came with like a bunch of data chips. So unlike my IC series where I only have one, with my later series we'll have a bunch of them. The funny part is I think the IC chips that exist don't actually all look like this. They actually have some very different designs, funnily enough. So it is kind of crazy to think that these little smaller ones only came included with the one set, with the little inclusion thing, because they didn't keep up with this design. There's like, I think 4 or 6 types of these things out there. Because I think the burst ones have their own, and then the 20X ones have their own as well. Though I don't know if they're cross-compatible or not. I guess we'll find out later on when I do a 20X series, I guess. Or a burst series. But for right now, we get to enjoy Liliamon here and just do whatever. So I'm not going to do too much with the character because right now we're doing pretty fine. And we already have everything kind of just set for us in a nice general way. Though we will get some food out before we do finish this episode off. 1, a 2, a 3, and a 4. And blam, look at that. I love the animations though, by the way. And I do want to mention one thing earlier. So while I was doing the battles, I managed to get the RPM meter filled up completely. And so the battle thing actually changed sprites. So instead of it being like the basic fireball, it actually became its own independent animation that did a lot more damage than the usual attacks, which is very interesting. So there is a whole special move thing inside of its little weird battle system, which is kind of interesting to know about. But I'm going to end the episode there, because I really just don't have much more to say, and my voice is getting a little tired, so... Only bad part when you do this, like, episode before, or do an episode after doing a walk, it means you're very much, like, bleh, whatever. But, thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next time! Oh yeah, before I do go, sorry, about to cough, I didn't want to cough, but, Zen and TCG is currently doing a reissue of the pendulum color devices. So for anyone who was interested in a pendulum color, go buy them out now. Apparently stock is limited or whatever. And anyone who asks me if I'm going to get the second wave of them, I am not. I don't like the pendulum colors. I've stated that many times. But just if anyone does want a pendulum color, go get one now while they're still cheap. So, thank you all for watching, and I will see you all later. Bye!